Hi guys, this is Jeffe from Swiftwater Safety Institute and Friends of the Midda. And while we're all sitting around jonesing for the spring season to begin and for people to be allowed to travel around and get back to the mighty Midda, I just thought I'd throw in something for the beginner rafters and little tricks I've learned over the years and how to dance with the river and let the river do the work instead of having to fight the river and maybe not making it. So here we have Arby, and I know he's rowing, but it's really similar to paddling in a lot of ways, so this will work. And he's obviously entering George's mistake in the snowy. So what I want you to look at here is how this tongue that he's entering has a hump, a vertical hump in the middle of it. It's kind of like a mogul in a ski slope or something. You know, like if you're on the top of the hump, you could go either way. If you're left of that hump, you'll be sliding easily to the left. If you're right of the hump, you'd be sliding really easily to the right. But, if you were on one side of that hump, like on the right here, and you were trying to move left, you'd actually have to go up and over the hump. And fight gravity just to get where you wanted to go. Whereas if you'd have moved pretty quickly early and gotten in position nice and early, you wouldn't have had to do that. So the other part of this that I wanted to show you is how he's got momentum moving right to left way before there's rocks or holes or eddies getting in the way of his oars, or in your case paddles. So he's already got momentum, and he's on the proper side of the tongue that he wants to move to, which is the left here in this case, which we already discussed. And he's also got his bow so close to that eddy line behind that rock just to his left there that it's actually already starting to suck him left as well. It's kind of like it's a game I play with myself. I'm pretending I'm going to catch that eddy, but not quite. And I let the eddy suck me over, and boom, it's all set up for me, and the river's doing the work. And so really, even though he loses his oars, or you have some punters that aren't really great paddlers and they kind of get discombobulated in the middle of a rapid, it doesn't matter because the boat's already moving in the direction he wants it to move. Here we are again. Pretty simple rapid, but the boat's got no angle. There's no momentum forward or backward, so you actually have a way to control what's happening to the boat. And the boat hits the rock, and as usual, the boatman's often the first one that falls out of the boat. So, and you can't expect clients or punters or students to know what to do when their boat's turning over. So, one person's trying to high side, but way too late, and whammo. Now these guys are having a pretty darn good run. They got a good angle entering. And, they're all paddling, so they've got some momentum, so they have a keel, so they have some control. Here they're doing the back paddle thing, putting the brakes on and missing that rock in front of them, and that was all perfect. But just about here is where they should have stopped back paddling and started forward paddling, so they catch the eddy right in front of them, their bow right there.
Get light, man.
So like we've been talking about, there's that mogul, that hump of water in that next tongue that's aiming right at the shark's tooth. And they're on the wrong side of it. They're on the left side. So if they were to make it over that, they'd have to fight to get up vertically over that hump, which they don't.
That is textbook.
Good high siding, and you can see Tank there on the left trying to give him some directions.
How do you get them up?
What's Lloyd? Is that Lloyd down there? What's he doing? He should get out of it. At least that tree's gone now. Yeah.
As you can see, they've lost a few folks in this process, but they were rescued well. And Tank's all by himself there trying to pull the raft off. But he's not just trying to pull the raft off, he's trying to lift the bow, as you can see here, to get it out of the water. There's a lot of water force and a lot of water weight. And at some point, it just resolves itself by dumping some of the water. As you saw, there was that one student downstream of the raft, which is not a good place to be, and he got knocked off when the raft came off, and they were heads up, they were good, and they rescued him. So just a few tips to chew on for a while about how to let the river do the work for you, how to use the water, and that little trick I discovered a long time ago regarding that little vertical hump in the tongue.